Hey everybody, welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. So glad you guys are back here with me for another episode. Today we're going to be making Gordon Ramsay's lemon sticky chicken. I'll leave that recipe down below for you guys. Right now I'm just making some white rice to go alongside of it. We're going to make a little bit of sticky rice. In there I just have some water and some salt. You can pair this with a lot of different things, any starch that you'd really love. And next to have alongside of it, we're going to have some roasted carrots. So I'm just going to peel these here in my compost bucket and then wash them a little bit. And then we're going to get them topped and tailed. And then we're going to cut them on a bias and then put them on our baking sheet. It may look like I'm prepping a lot of carrots for this, but I did notice that every time I roast carrots, they really cook down a lot in size, almost by half. So because of that, I'm just making a little bit more so we can have some for leftovers. If you prefer to leave the skins on, you can definitely do that. These were store-bought carrots, so I just wanted to, peel them. But if I would have had these homegrown or from the farm, I would probably just clean the outside skins and cut them up. So now we're just going to top and tail them like I mentioned and get them cut on a bias. You can slice these however you like them. I know that some people like to slice their vegetables a certain way. They're very particular about it, or maybe they're little kids, just maybe find whatever works for your family. I know certain children or even adults like their veggies cut in a certain way, either very small or rounds or half moons, whatever it is, whatever it helps. I think it's maybe a texture thing, but let me know what you guys think about that. So next we're going to get the seasoning on these carrots. I'm going to use some avocado oil, some salt and pepper, and then we're going to go in with some onion and garlic powder and just a little bit of paprika. I have our oven already heated up here to 350. Just going to mix these up really well, and then we're going to put them in the oven for about 45 minutes. You just want to keep an eye on them in case they're getting too brown. So next we have our chicken breast here. I just dropped some avocado oil in our little skillet over there. And what I'm doing here is just prepping our chicken, just taking off any extra fat or skin that's on these chicken breasts. And then I'm just going to cut them into large, medium to large pieces. I'm only going to be using half of this chicken for this particular recipe, and I'm going to be saving the other half we're going to use for a marinade later on. You'll see that I make that up for the refrigerator. I like to have some marinated chicken or different meats in my refrigerator for, at least if you can let them marinate for 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours, I'll do that, depending on what type of meat it is or what I'm trying to make. So usually whenever I get proteins out of the freezer, I'll get enough out for at least 2 different types of meals with that same protein, and then cook it or season it 2 different ways, so that way, you're thawing out the same protein, but you're having it in a few different ways so you don't get sick of it. And it helps you too with rotating your stock in your freezer. So now I'm just going to clean up a little bit here. Since I had the raw chicken, I'm using my kitchen cleaner. And by this time, our oil is getting nice and hot in the back, so it's going to be ready for us and ready for the chicken. So here I'm just honing my knife a little bit. I notice that if I hone my knife a little bit every time before I use it, it really helps it stay, nice and sharp for me, and it keeps the integrity of it. Right now what I'm doing is I have one clean hand and one dirty hand. My dirty hand is obviously touching the raw chicken, and my clean hand is touching the seasonings. So I'm just seasoning up our chicken here on one side with salt and pepper, and then I'm dropping the seasoned side into the pan. And then once our chicken is in there, I'm going to season up the other side with salt and pepper. I felt like I could add a few other pieces in here, so that's why I'm kind of squeezing 2 more small pieces in there, just to kind of make it worthwhile, but I didn't want to crowd the pan completely. Just a little trick, if you tilt your pans around, that actually helps all the oil disperse around the pan instead of having to add in extra oil or too much oil. And here you saw me fluff up my rice with a fork. I'm going to try to make it like a sticky rice, so I'm adding a little bit more water to it. Turn it on low so that it can cook a little more. Here I have some cloves of garlic. I'm just cutting off the root end. I'm going to compost those. And then we're just going to slice our garlic. We're not going to add this in until closer towards the end because we don't want to have burnt garlic. And then next here too, we're going to just making room there on the board. I was looking to see if our chicken was ready to flip, and it wasn't at this moment. So I have 2 lemons here, and we're going to juice these 2 lemons. We're going to roll them first to help break up, the little cells in the inside, just to kind of get them softened so we can juice them easier. And I just wash them off first. About 1 whole lemon fills up my little juicer here. So we're going to start with 1 whole lemon, and then I believe I do 1.5 lemons for this recipe. And then the other half, I just kind of quarter it up into pieces and add it in with the chicken. So here I'm just showing you that we are turning our chicken. It's looking gorgeous. And we're just giving it a little spin. And I'm just adding in now a little touch of oil. This is some Italian seasoning. The recipe called for some other herbs. I did not have them separately, so there were a lot of the same ones in the Italian seasoning. I just used that. And I just put our lemon juice in there and our garlic, little soy sauce, and honey. And there goes the lemon pieces and then that other half of the lemon. Just going to shake it to let it get settled down in there, and then I'm going to turn each chicken piece over into the sauce just so that it can get nice and basted. We're going to cover with a lid and add a little bit of water there, and that's only going to cook for another 5 to 10 more minutes. You just want to keep an eye on it from here on out so it doesn't get overcooked. Now this is the remainder of our chicken before. This is going to be my fast marinade I'm just going to throw together. I just have some olive oil. We're doing salt and pepper. I have mustard and hot sauce there. This Dijon, I added a little bit of water in there just to kind of get the remainder of it out. It won't matter for this recipe whether it's thick or not because it's obviously a marinade. And I believe I also add some minced garlic to this as well. And a little bit of honey here just to cut through some of that heat with some sweetness. We actually made some chicken fajitas with this chicken. It was really, really tasty. You can either grill the chicken, or pan sear it in a cast iron or whatever pan that you have. There you go. We're going to wrap that up and put it in the fridge. So here we have our roasted carrots, our sticky rice, and the lemon sticky chicken. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye-bye, friends.